The Nut Witch and the Three Children. The children sat around the fire in the small village square. The freezing cold wrapped the place, and white smoke rose from the flames. The old man, Salem, sat on his old wooden chair, warming his hands by the fire, his eyes shining with wisdom and kindness. He looked at them and said in a warm voice, "Come closer, my children. Today, I will tell you a story from long ago, a story about three brave children and a strange witch known as the Nut Witch." The children leaned in with curiosity and listened attentively as the elder began. Once upon a time, there was a small, beautiful village surrounded by forests on all sides. In this village lived three friends, Sammy, Layla, and Omar. They loved adventure, spent their days playing and laughing, and collected flowers and fruits from the edges of the nearby forest. One sunny day, the children decided to go into the forest to gather some nuts and fruits for their mothers. As they walked among the trees, a strange and delicious smell reached them. Layla smiled and said, "What is this fragrant smell?" "It's like roasted nuts with honey." Omar laughed. "Maybe someone is baking a huge cake in the forest." Sammy, however, approached the trees cautiously and said the forest is a strange place. No one lives here. We must be careful. But curiosity was stronger than fear. They followed the scent step by step. With every step, the smell grew stronger and more enticing, until they reached a sight they had never seen before. A small house made entirely of chocolate, caramel, and nuts. Its roof was covered with caramelized hazelnuts, the walls made of dark chocolate, and the windows of clear sugar. The children approached in astonishment, unable to believe their eyes. At that moment, the door slowly opened, and an old woman wearing a tall hat and holding a small wooden wand appeared. She smiled kindly and said in a gentle voice, "Hello, little ones. You've come at the perfect time. I just made some magical nut sweets. Come taste them. They make your heart happy and your mind sharp." Layla cheered. "Thank you, Grandma. They look so delicious." Sammy, however, felt something strange in her words. Before he could say anything, the old woman placed plates full of shiny sweets in front of them. They ate a little, and the taste was more wonderful than anything they had ever experienced. But after a few moments, they began to feel dizzy, their legs heavy, and Sammy fainted. When they woke up, they found themselves trapped inside a wooden cage in the witch's house. The walls were covered with nuts and sweets, and the old woman's loud laughter filled the room. "I am the Nut Witch. You've fallen into my trap, little children. I will use you to help me make my magical treats that give me eternal youth." Layla trembled with fear, and Omar said in a quivering voice, "We don't want to stay here." Sammy lifted his head calmly and said, "Stay calm. We will find a way to escape." We will not let her hurt us. Hours passed as the witch busied herself in the kitchen, preparing huge pots of nuts boiled in honey, while the children whispered to each other. Sami said, "We need a clever plan. The key is with the witch. We must take it without her noticing." Layla asked, "But how?" "She never leaves it." Omar smiled. "Maybe we can trick her like she tricked us." Sami agreed. "Excellent idea." The next morning, Sami shouted loudly, "Did you know? My mother taught me a new recipe that makes nuts 10 times tastier." The witch turned, curious. "Really? Tell me now," Sami answered cautiously. "But you can only make it if you close your eyes and sing the old nut song while preparing it." The witch laughed. "I am the best at singing magical songs. Show me how this recipe works." She began mixing the ingredients, singing with her eyes closed, while Layla quietly pulled the key from around her neck without her noticing. Sami quickly unlocked the cage and motioned for Omar and Layla to escape quietly. They ran out of the house swiftly, but Omar stepped on a piece of chocolate, which cracked loudly. The witch opened her eyes and shouted angrily, "You naughty children! You will not escape me." The children ran as fast as they could through the forest, the witch flying after them on her broomstick, throwing magical nuts that turned into sparks and fire. The forest was filled with colors and light, but Sami kept his focus. "To the river. That's where we can be safe." They reached the river quickly and found a small boat tied to the shore. They pushed it with all their strength and jumped inside. The witch approached, screaming, "Come back! I will turn you into nuts." But she didn't notice a large branch in her path. She hit it, fell into the water, and her magic broom sank. She tried to get out, but the current swept her away as she shouted, "I will return one day." The children laughed as they paddled toward the opposite bank. Layla, catching her breath, said, "I will never go near strange sweets again." After a long adventure, the children returned to their village. The villagers received them with surprise and joy. Sami told them everything that had happened. The people praised their bravery and cleverness, and the elder told everyone that the forest would henceforth be known as the Enchanted Nut Forest, and no one would enter it after sunset. Elder Salem ended his story, smiling at the children around him. "Remember, my children, not everything that glitters is gold, and not everyone who smiles wishes good. Always use your mind, for a clear mind is the strongest weapon in this world. Cooperation among friends is the key to survival." He then looked at the burning fire and added softly, "And so, my little ones, the story of the Nut Witch ends here, but the wisdom remains. Never be deceived by appearances, and always be clever, like Sami and his friends." The elder extinguished the fire with his trembling hand. Silence filled the square as the children watched the last sparks, reflecting on the story's meaning. knowing that the wisdom the elders shared would remain in their hearts forever.
Thank you for watching the video.